What is up, everybody? It is your boy, Pigskin Pete. Happy Sunday to everybody. I've been sitting back like everybody else, licking my chops and enjoying this back and forth sort of thing between the head coach of the Texas A&M Aggies, Jimbo Fisher, formerly of Florida State, and, of course, what many people consider to be the greatest college football coach of all time, the almighty Dark Lord himself, Nick Saban. All of that is coming up right after the bumper. So in an interview last week, head coach Jimbo Fisher of the Texas A&M Aggies said in a press conference, quote unquote, we are going to beat their asses, talking about the Alabama Crimson Tide. Of course, this went viral when you have one head coach from a major college football program talking about another head coach or team from another major college football program. Of course, is going to make news, especially when the team that they are talking about are the defending champions and probably the best, well, not probably, they are the best college football program over the past, well, at least decade or more. It is going to make headlines. Now, I will be the first to admit to you that I am not the biggest fan of Jimbo Fisher. I wasn't a fan of Jimbo Fisher when he was at Florida State. I'm certainly not the biggest fan of Jimbo Fisher now that he has moved to Texas A&M. But is what Jimbo Fisher said really out of bounds? There are only a handful of head football coaches in the Power Five at this moment who have won national championships. Jimbo Fisher is one of them. When Jimbo Fisher left the ACC, Atlantic Division, which is the same division as Clemson, to go to Texas A&M, I gave him a lot of crap. I said, yeah, he can't beat that. He's proven that he's behind the eight ball. He can't beat Dabo Swinney anymore. He's going to go somewhere else. Well, where do you go? You go to arguably the toughest division in all of college football in the SEC West. Now, the thinking behind this is that Dabo Swinney and Clemson are on a roll, and Dabo Swinney is a young guy. He's only 50 years old. Nick Saban, on the other hand, top of his game, top of the sport, but getting older. How many years does Saban have left? The jury is still out on that. I tend to believe that Nick Saban will be at Alabama for at least another 4 or 5 years, which is scary for all of college football, not just the SEC West. Before we do that, though, I want to listen to the response from Nick Saban when he hears what Jimbo Fisher said about Alabama.
As your friend Jimbo said yesterday that at some point while you're in Tuscaloosa, he was going to beat your butt. That wasn't the word that he used, but did you have any response for that?
In golf?
I think he meant on the football field.
Well, I'm sure there'll come a day, but is that what you're talking about? Football?
He was talking about football.
Oh, he was? Wow. He used to be on my noontime basketball league, I guess. We're no longer partners, when it comes to that.
So Nick Saban takes the high road there. Yeah, first of all, he says something funny. He says, well, beat our ass, what, in golf? Yeah. And then he talks about the noontime basketball league or whatever that is. But here's the bottom line, guys. Look, man, what is Jimbo Fisher supposed to say? Okay? I mean, like I said, he's in the hardest division in college football. Well, it depends on, how good LSU is from year to year. That really depends on whether it's the hardest division in college football or not. Some people consider the Big Ten East to be the hardest division in college football. But as far when you look at the teams that win the SEC or win the West in general, it is the hardest division in college football. But what do you expect this guy to say? If you're asking Jimbo Fisher about beating Alabama, which is clearly, I mean, it's clear as day that is their hump to get over. What is Jimbo Fisher supposed to say? They're paying me $80 million contract. What is it? Well, I don't even know. $70 million. I don't even know how much it is. I think it's like seven years, $70 million or $80 million, something like some astronomical amount of money. He's one of the highest paid coaches in college football. He's one of the most respected coaches in college football as far as on the field. I'm not talking about off the field stuff that's going on when he was at Florida State. But on the field, he's one of the most respected. What is this guy supposed to say? Look, everything that these coaches say in the offseason is directly talking to potential recruits. Alabama is one of these teams, one of 4 or 5 teams in the entire country that can go to literally any state and pick the best players out of them and get them to come to their school. Texas just happens to be one of the most talent-rich states in recruiting in the entire country. In my opinion, Jimbo Fisher was not talking to Nick Saban. He wasn't talking to his own players, and he wasn't talking to the Alabama players when he made this statement. He was talking directly to potential recruits. He was telling them in a roundabout way, hey, look, we're Texas A&M. We are on the precipice of being the best team in the SEC, whether it's 1 or 2 or 3 years from now. You come here to Aggie land, and you will be part of one of the teams that dethrones Alabama. And again, I'm not a huge Jimbo Fisher fan, but I understand what he's doing here. I understand exactly what he's doing and why he's doing it. And I'm going to be honest with you. The Nick Saban train will not last forever, whether it's 2 years, 3, 4, 5 years. Eventually, this guy's going to retire. And my prediction is that Jimbo Fisher is next in line to build a quote-unquote dynasty or powerhouse there in Aggie land. And on a side note, things like this are what make college football better than the NFL, in my opinion. I mean, I like the NFL too, but you don't see this in the NFL. You just don't see it. It's one thing for fans like me and you to trash talk between one another, but when 2 head coaches of 2 major college football programs go back and forth in this way, there is no better entertainment in all of sports. Thank you for watching. Make sure you hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button. I do these college football videos year-round. There is no off-season for Pigskin Pete. Have a good weekend. I'll see you tomorrow. Pigskin Pete is checking out.